Welcome. Tonight we're going to discuss District 6 and University of Northern Colorado partnership working to help paraprofessionals become licensed teachers. We're doing this, you can see the date. These dollar amounts and everything that we talk about now are for fall of 2023. The overall information will stay very similar for future semesters, but just for future posterity's sake, the dollar amounts are mentioned for fall of 2023. So we'll go down the list and do quick introductions, and then we'll talk about the different programs and different supports that we have for paraprofessionals interested in becoming licensed teachers. Emily?
I'm Emily Downs. I'm the elementary and K-8 CLD coordinator for District 6, which includes Greeley-Evans public and charter schools.
Thank you. Liz?
I'm Liz Gonzalez. I am the secondary CLD coordinator, and I'm also teaching at UNC a few classes, linguistics and some intro linguistics courses.
And we're hoping Emily's starting this summer as well. So I'm James Gambrell. I'm the CLD undergraduate coordinator for culturally and linguistically diverse education here at UNC. Penny?
My name is Penny Mascarenas, and I am the program coordinator for the Cumbres Teacher Preparation Program at UNC, and I'm the academic advisor for the CLD endorsement at UNC.
Jose David?
And hi, my name is Jose David. I am the Assistant Director of Diversity and Access in our admissions office. I also serve as an admissions counselor for our local area, including all of District 6. And so I'm here to help facilitate any of the steps for application and just really make all those steps easier.
Okay. I know I'm in the colloquial term preaching to the choir when it comes to why we are excited about paraprofessionals. But I just wanted you to know that our excitement about parapros becoming licensed teacher is matched by research. And so research shows that y'all are more likely to stay in classrooms, that you're more effective teachers, that you're more likely to match the racial and linguistic identities of your students. You understand and appreciate the assets that your students bring into the classroom better than traditional licensure teachers. And I argue that this is like a win-win-win-win-win. And so it's a win for the individual para, you who we're talking to. It's a win for the school district because they are always asking us how to get more licensed teachers. It's a win for us as a university. As a small university, we're always looking to recruit more students to our university. It's a win for your students, as you can see, that you're better, more effective teachers. I would argue it's a win for the families as well of your students because you all are just awesome. And I was awarded, this is for fall of 23, a grant that I'm able to offer a small scholarship to any District 6 employee interested in becoming a licensed teacher and enrolling in one of our teacher education programs with a CLD endorsement attached to that. Depending on the number who do enroll, it'll probably be approximately $500 to $700. And the added benefit is you get me as the CLD coordinator excited about your success, even more so than, as much or more than other CLD endorsement students. And excitingly, you with a small grant are a pilot to create more sustainable and long-term grants to assist future paraprofessionals. I'm going to turn the time over to Penny.
Hi, I'm Penny Mascarenas again, and I am representing the Cumbres program at UNC tonight. Cumbres is a program, it's a co-curricular support program only found at UNC, specifically to support students who are majoring in education and completing the endorsement in culturally and linguistically diverse education. So we will admit any undergraduate student who's going to major in education and complete the endorsement in CLD. So we won't admit master's or PhD students, but we will admit freshman students, transfer students, and non-traditional students. We do also offer some scholarship money through our program. So if you decide to participate in Cumbres, you can receive another $750 per semester, which is renewable as long as you have a 2.75 GPA. You are making progress in your education degree and the CLD endorsement, and you are participating in the program, which means by participation, we mean you're meeting with a mentor teacher, you are attending workshops that we ask you to attend, as well as mandatory meetings that we have all of our students attend, and you are completing some community service each semester. We will renew that scholarship as long as you are eligible and meeting our requirements. So even if it takes longer than 4 years to finish your degree, we will continue to support you until you graduate. And in order to become involved in Cumbres, in addition to the grant that Dr. Gambrell just mentioned, you would first need to be admitted to UNC, and then you can submit an application to the Cumbres program, and we'll get in touch and meet with you personally to talk about your goals about becoming a teacher and how that would fit with our program.
And speaking about getting admitted to UNC, we'll now turn the time over to Jose David.
Thank you so much. As we said, my name is Jose David. I put in this slide, please feel free to take a picture of my contact. You'll also get an email with some of that information as well. But first and foremost, as an admissions counselor here as well and an assistant director in our admissions office, we want to be able to help facilitate and make it as easy as possible to help you become a UNC Bear. And so with that, we'll give some information here as well about our campus. So UNC, who today we are currently #1 in social mobility, a 5 out of 5 on the Pride Index charts for supports for the LGBTQ community, as well as an emerging Hispanic serving institution. These three things, as we talk about this, it not only lets us know a little bit of the student population that we serve, but also just some of the priorities that our college has for our students. Being an emerging HSI also speaks about the fact that not only do we have the 25% of our students currently being identified as Latinx and Latino, but it is knowing that servingness goes hand in hand with being an HSI, and same with knowing the social mobility aspect and being up there in those rankings is that our faculty, our staff, and our just any of our support systems understand that it takes support to be able to make sure that students are successful, and that is important to us. And if we go on to that next slide. And so with our community being 9,000 students, a little bit over that, it does allow for a lot of one-on-one attention from faculty and being able to have a lot of access to those office hours, knowing that if there has been time from the time that has passed from when you were in school, from when if we did do any college education after having graduated high school, it can be a journey. And so as we keep all these numbers in mind and this personal attention to be able to find your success here, it is just knowing that that's a big representation of our community. And so with that, let's talk a little bit about the application process. And so the application in itself is found at the apply.unco.edu. So it's our website, and it's through there the link down there. And in one of the first questions, it asks if you have a fee waiver code. And we're providing one right here to make sure that we can hear from admissions, help support you in saving $50. There's a $50 application fee. So you see it right here, the fee waiver code UNC D6 Para. As we look at your your GPA, at everything. We look at everything holistically to make decisions about admission. So, knowing the time that you are spending as a professional, the time that you have spent, all of that gets taken into consideration. And so, knowing if you did not complete anything after high school in regards to classes for college, then we are looking just specifically at your high school transcripts. And these materials below are optional, but we do, knowing that our guarantee for admissions for first-year applicants is a 3.0 and higher. If your GPA falls below 3.0 on the high school scale, then we highly recommend the personal statement, letters of rec, and being able to just put that best foot forward with those things. Alongside with this, with transfer applicants, here on the next slide, it's just knowing that if you do, we'll need college transcripts as well. If you do have college classes that you have taken, as we look at all that together as well. And I'm here to help support you in putting that best foot forward through there. Knowing that you'll get evaluated, your classes will get evaluated. If you have taken courses, UNC will find the best way to make sure that you get credit for the classes that you did take. And that's on the next slide here as well. Knowing that there is that additional step that we want to make sure that we evaluate what those credits could be. You can transfer in up to 90 credits as well at UNC. And if you want to kind of take a look at what those might be, you can look at transferology.com. So just that information for both first year and otherwise. For our current right now in regards to tuition and fees, and here I'm making sure that we pull it up. No, you're good. It is with that next slide, but the tuition and fees is a little bit under 12,000 currently for this following school year for 2023, but that is for 16 credits about on average per semester. So knowing that those credits might be different as you're looking at it, full-time student is 12. And so those numbers could fluctuate a little bit, knowing that that's the tuition and fees. We do have first-year scholarships that are based off of your high school GPA, and so that's this page right here that you're seeing, and you're looking at the residency of Colorado. So if your GPA is 3.0 and higher, you're guaranteed yet another admissions-based scholarship, and the higher that the GPA is, the more money there as well. So potentially it's almost half of that tuition as well, combined with a lot of these other things. It's a big chunk there. If we are looking at transfer as well, then that has a little bit of different numbers. Biggest reason, knowing that college classes are more rigorous in nature. So 2.75 is that bottom GPA where we start giving those scholarships, and that's what these amounts are there. Regardless of all of these things, you want to make sure you're doing everything to be able to apply for as much financial aid as possible, so that we know that we have the FAFSA applications. Although March 1st priority deadline has passed, it's still recommended that we submit it to see just absolutely anything that we might be able to do. And anything that federally might be able to be done, grants, loans, or otherwise. And then CASFA as well for any applicants that are DACA students or DACA mented. So with both of that and knowing those things is that I am your point of contact and making sure that I can help guide any of these questions, any next steps questions, getting started with those applications. So let me know how I can help.
And then do either Liz or Emily want to talk? And I wasn't trying to cut you off, Jose David. I thought there was one more slide.
No, I'll go ahead. So briefing everyone on kind of how co-teaching has come and where we have started to focus with paraprofessionals. About 6 or 7 years ago, the initiative was taken by the Greeley-Evans School District to support students in their least restrictive environment, which in terms meant that we were doing less pullout and more inclusion based on pushing in. However, paraprofessionals and everyone with that title has been doing this a lot longer than just that initiative that was started district-wide 6 or 7 years ago. With that being said, our paraprofessionals have the most experience of supporting our students with social and academic and emotional learning within the classroom, within their least restrictive environment. Knowing that you specifically were working with students on IEPs, but you weren't ever just working specifically with 1 or 2 students. Yes, your job may have been to support and be a one-on-one, but you have been supporting students beyond that capacity for, again, longer than that initiative has been rolled out in Greeley-Evans District 6. So with that being said, we are looking at our paraprofessionals as the people who have been on the forefront of that least restrictive environment and supporting students in that co-taught community. You have been the ones that have been building those relationships with those general ed and content classroom teachers to make sure that students with our significant needs are getting the most out of that environment where they can learn alongside their peers with grade level content. So knowing what you have been doing and working far beyond just that one-on-one model with students on or off IEPs, we know that you have been in tune with what that classroom environment looks like for students. So not only that, but you have been a co-teacher within that environment. And now we are not only referring to paraprofessionals as co-teachers, but we want to value that in the sense of what that looks like with your pay too. So going through this program would not only allow you to become a salaried employee, you would be receiving, a 13-month based pay salary, which means that you would also receive the benefits, knowing that, yes, you are putting into your benefits currently, but that looks a lot differently with a salary paycheck. So a typical paraprofessional in the Greeley-Evans D6 school makes around $20,000, excluding those days that you are not working, so excluding breaks, because we are a district that unfortunately does not honor that time that you do not work off as being paid. As a employee that rolls into a salary, you would then be paid for that time off, including all school breaks and summer. So with that being said, a lot of paraprofessionals are working that summer, either ESY, extended school year, or you are doing things through 21st century, or you are doing summer school. All of that is also based on your hourly pay as a paraprofessional. So if you were to continue to do those things as a paid salary teacher, that hourly for you would also increase drastically. So what we really want you to think and consider is not only the continuation of your schoolwork outside of school, but the continuation of that work and what it looks like either in your current school or how this work can just open many doors for you in our community. So going back to you and have been working with those students who are at most at risk. And with that, it becomes the communication with our families and our communities. And so being able to expand that from the talents that you have already displayed and have really utilized through the school you're at, we would love to continue to support that as coordinators under that umbrella of CLD to either continue that work within that special education realm or being able to coordinate that and see how your specifications within special education have crossed over to culturally and linguistically diverse, knowing that you have been working inside these classrooms for a lot longer as we've been acknowledging co-teaching as a district.
And I would just like to add, you are valued in the district and you're valued in the community. In the eyes of our parents, that you are teachers for our students. And now it's time to solidify that with the support that we can give you in this programming from both Emily and I to UNC. We know that a lot of times the route that non-traditional students take can be sometimes daunting and a challenge when it comes to education and taking on something this big. But I do want to let you know that you will have the direct support of us in the programming, And once word gets out in the district, I believe a lot of teachers will be stepping up to maintain that support for you.
And I just wanted to end so that you saw that there's faces here to support you, that we're excited to be able to support you, and we're trying to get every angle we can to add additional supports. And we're going to end the recorded part of this now, and look forward to working with each of you.